Right, this is our 6th networking session for Better Work Tasmania. As you're all aware, that's what is very much at the heart of Better Work Tasmania. That's what we've been trying to develop since its launch just over a year ago, that we would have get-togethers like this one today where people can very much share their experiences and ideas with work health and safety. And of course, to promote that sharing, you would all note there's some wallets on the tables, little business card wallets, networking wallets. If you're not at a table with them, there's tables at the front here that have the wallets, so you might have to pick them up a little bit later on in the session. So the idea being that you swap each other's business cards and just keep that as your record of the people that you meet through these networking sessions. And again, that's just to encourage that longer term contact sharing that we're very much developing within Better Work Tasmania. So today's session is very much to give you an appreciation of some model approaches that are going on with networking. They're actual cluster groups working in a number of areas such as leadership and the ageing workforce. And so I've got a number of speakers here today. Cameron Blight will shortly give you a rundown of what those cluster groups have been working on. And of course, representatives from the cluster groups are here today to share their experiences. Hands up if you're not a Better Work Tasmania member. Okay, well, make sure you get online as soon as possible and join. It's been a year since launch, as I said. We had the 300 or so at Blundstone get together, and everything went really well, and since then we now have about 800 members in Better Work Tasmania, so it's been a great result. We'd had hoped for about 500 to 1,000 in the first year, so we have achieved that. We'd hoped that we would have completed 4 networking sessions like we've got today. We've actually had 6 in the last year. The mentoring program established, which we have started. We tend to have a lot of people who have put their hand up to be mentors, but found it more difficult to find those that want to be mentored. So we may be experimenting with active learning groups, similar to what Cameron has done in the health and wellbeing space, to follow that up. The networking member details and term sharing details, this is what the business card wallets are about. Rather than publishing a list or providing a membership book, we thought we would go to this more personal approach of people collecting each other's details at these sessions, and then we've given you the little wallet to put those business cards in so that you've got that for the long term then to seek out any information from other members. And of course, live streaming and recording events, we've done that today. We did it at the last session, so we're very much trying to make that a part of what we do. So it's not just who can come to the face-to-face session, but rather any member across Australia, and we do have a lot of mainland members and international members as well, can also be part of our get-togethers. So this is what we have achieved, as I said, and we also record these sessions, so if you don't manage to get and see the live stream, you can actually go back and look at the event after the fact. So again, just trying to ensure that people get the most out of membership. We will also look at webinars into the future as well. The Queensland program that is similar to ours has been experimenting with that, so that's something we might carry on with. We also had a recent survey, and thank you very much for all those people who participated in that. We got good feedback in terms of what we might do next for Better Work Tasmania. There's the wallet, which you've had today. And in terms of the next session, it's end of June. It will be the 29th of June. That particular network session will be based in Launceston, but we will be live streaming just like we are today, so you won't be missing out. And I'm just canvassing now ideas for the topics on that day. So I've spoken to members today about what they'd like to hear about. I'll send out a survey tomorrow or the day after again, and then it's your opportunity to tell us what you'd like to hear about at the next session.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming this morning. And also, as Pam mentioned, to our live streamers who are quite a few this morning. So it's, I guess, we need to utilise technology and broaden our reach, and we're certainly taking the opportunity to do that this morning. So today we'll be listening to, as Pam mentioned, our business-to-business cluster program, and that happened over 3 topics: leadership and culture, the ageing workforce, and also mental health. So Jeff Pearman from Partners in Change, he's joining us here this morning, all the way from New Zealand. Pretty bumpy flight in last night, but he's arrived. I've also got Doug Vordier, the CEO of AusHelp, talking about our mental health cluster, and also John Fletcher talking from a leadership and culture point of view. So some of them will share some case studies with you. Jeff's got a nice little panel set up, so representatives from the RACT, the Kingborough Council, also Pellet Fires Tasmania and WorkSafe Tasmania. So we've got 4 different perspectives that you'll hear from this morning. And the way the cluster programs operated were 3 half-day workshops, followed by some in the workplace activities, in monthly workshops. So over 3 months, they'd come together for half a day, they'd work together as a group, and then they'd go away and do some activities. The end product was either developing a strategy or developing policies or just developing skills to take back to their workplace to improve in those 3 areas. Now, I did have the privilege of going along to a lot of those sessions, and what I found was the facilitators were fantastic in what they were delivering around their topic, but what was happening was a very rich learning experience. Now, the title of the 2-day conference today is about collaboration and innovation driving growth, and I think there's no better example that I've seen in recent times than the innovation that was happening from those cluster groups coming together and learning from each other.